Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Gopi Jana Vallabha Girivardhari. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yashodanandana Braja Janaranjana. Yamunatira Vanachari. Yamunatira Vanachari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Jaya Radha Madhava Kunja Bihari. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Srila Prabhupada. Jaya Jaya Prabhupada, 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 Prabhupada. Jai Om Vishnupad Paramahams Parivrajakacarya Ashtotarshad Shri Srimad Divine Grace A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada Ki Grantharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam Ki Nitai Gaur Premanande. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. So today we are reading from Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, Canto 9, Chapter 18. Chapter is entitled King Yayati Regains His Youth. Text numbers 6 to 16. We have 6 and 7 on the board, so we'll recite these verses. Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Danavendrasya Sharmishtha Nama Kanyaka Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini Devayanya Purodhyane Pushpita Druma Sankule Vyacharat Kala Gitali Nalini Puline Bala. Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Danavendrasya Sharmishtha Nama Kanyaka Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini Devayanya Purodhyane Pushpita Druma Sankule Vyacharat Kala Gitali Nalini Puline Bala. Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Danavendrasya Sharmishtha Nama Kanyaka Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini Devayanya Purodhyane Pushpita Druma Sankule Vyacharat Kala Gitali Nalini Puline Bala. Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Danavendrasya Dharmishtanam Kanyaka Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Guru Putra Cha Bhamini Devayanya Purodhyane Shapadu Sankule Vyacharat Kala Gitali Nalini Puline Bala Shri Shuka Vacha Ekada Danavendrasya Sharmishta Nama Kanyaka Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta Guru Putrya Cha Bhamini Devayanya Purodhyane Pushpita Druma Sankule Vyacharat Kala Gitali Nalini Puline Bala Shri Shuka Vacha Shri Shukadev Goswami said, Ekada, once upon a time, Danava Indrasya of Vrishaparva, Sharmishtha, Nama by name, Kanyaka, a daughter, Sakhi Sahasra Samyukta, accompanied by thousands of friends, Guru Putrya, with the daughter of the Guru, Shukracharya, Cha, also, Bhamini, very easily irritated, Devayanya, with Devayani, Pura Udyane, within the palace garden, Pushpita, full of flowers, Druma, with nice trees, Sankule, congested, Vyacharat, was walking, Kala Gita, with very sweet sounds, Ali, with bumblebees, Nalini, with lotuses, Puline, in such a garden, Abala, innocent. Translation. Shukdev Goswami said, one day Vrishaparva's daughter Sharmishtha, who was innocent but angry by nature, was walking with Devayani, the daughter of Shukracharya, and with thousands of friends in the palace garden. The garden was full of lotuses and trees of flowers and fruits, and was inhabited by sweet singing birds and bumblebees. So there is no purport. We'll go till text 16. So text 8. Kajala Shayamasadya Kanya Kamalalochana Tire Nyasya Dukulani Vijaru Sinchatir Mitha. When the young lotus-eyed girls came to the bank of a reservoir of water, they wanted to enjoy by bathing. Thus they left their clothing on the bank and began sporting, throwing water on one another. Text 9. Viksha vrajantam girisham sahadevya vrisha sthitam sahasotirya vasamsi Paryadhur-vridita striyah. While sporting in the water, the girls suddenly saw Lord Shiva passing by, seated on the back of his bull with his wife Parvati. Ashamed because they were naked, the girls quickly got out of the water and covered themselves with their garments. Text 10. Sharmishtha janati vaso guru putra samavyayat swiyam matva prakupita Devyanidam abravit. Sharmishta unknowingly put Devyani's dress on her own body, thus angering Devyani, who then spoke as follows. Aho nirikshyatamasya dasya karma hyasampratam asmad dharyam dhritavati suniva haveradvare. Oh, just see the activities of this servant maid Sharmishtha. Disregarding all etiquette, she has put on my dress just like a dog snatching clarified butter meant for use in a sacrifice. Text 12 to 14. Yeridam tapasa srishtam mukham pumsa parasya ye dharyate yeriha jyoti shiva pantha pradarshita yan vandantyupatishtante lokanatha sureshwara bhagavan api vishvatma pavana sriniketana vayam tatrapi bhrigava shishyosya pitasura asmadharyam dhritavati shudro vedam ivasati. We are among the qualified Brahmanas who are accepted as the face of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. The Brahmanas have created the entire universe by their austerity, and they always keep the absolute truth within the core of their hearts. They have directed the path of good fortune, the path of Vedic civilization, and because they are the only worshipable objects within this world, they are offered prayers and worshipped even by the great demigods, the directors of the various planets, and even by the Supreme Personality of Godhead, the Super Soul, the Supreme Purifier, the husband of the Goddess of Fortune. And we are even more respectable because we are in the dynasty of Bhrigu. Yet, although this woman's father, being among the demons, is our disciple, she has put on my dress exactly like a Shudra taking charge of Vedic knowledge. Text 15. Evam kshipantim sharmishtha guru putrim abhashata rusha shwasantyura urangiva dharshita darshta dachada. Shukdev Goswami said, when thus rebuked in cruel words, Sharmishtha was very angry, breathing heavily like a serpent and biting her lower lip with her teeth. She spoke to the daughter of Shukracharya as follows. Text 16. Atma vrittam avigyaya kathase bahu bhikshuki kimna pratikshase smakam grihan bali bhujo yatha. Translation and purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta, Swami Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Translation. You beggar, since you don't understand your position, why should you unnecessarily talk so much? Don't all of you wait at our house, depending on us for your livelihood like crows? Purport. Crows have no independent life. They fully depend on remnants of foodstuffs thrown by householders into the garbage tank. Therefore, because a Brahmana depends on his disciples, when Sharmishtha was heavily rebuked by Devyani, she charged Devyani with belonging to a family of crow-like beggars. It is the nature of women to fight verbally at even a slight provocation. As we see from this incident, this has been their nature for a long, long time. Om Agyantimirandhasya Gyananjana Shalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Jena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namah. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaur Bhaktavrinda. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. Hare Krishna. So here we have King Yayati regains his youth. It's a very interesting story in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam and very instructive. So there are many points to be learned. So now actually we are nearing the end of 9th canto, and these dynasties are from the Soma Vamsha, the Kshatriyas coming in the dynasty of the moon god. So Kshatriyas generally are in two dynasties, Soma Vamsha and, these are Chandra Vamsha kings in the moon dynasty. No, Soma Vamsha, Chandra Vamsha is same thing. Then there is a Surya Vamsha, that's the sun god and descendants. So because Krishna comes in the dynasty of the moon god, so then all these kings, the predecessors, are being listed here in these chapters. And when the names are listed, then some interesting stories are also described. So Yayati's story is very important, and he's a very important king. His sons will actually go to different parts of the world and spread their dynasties over there. And we'll see in different purports, Prabhupada writes that how the sons of Yayati, some went towards Greece and Turkey and other parts of the world, and their descendants populated those areas. So basically, this idea that originally the Vedic culture was there throughout the world, prevalent throughout the world, and the capital of the whole world was Hastinapur, present-day Delhi region. So whole world was considered one country, as Prabhupada writes in his purports. That's why when we have Mahabharata, the history of greater India, just like we have, now we have Google Maps, but previously we had the map books, right? Melways. Now it's extinct, I think. In some second-hand bookshops you will find how it looked like. So in that, it used to be written maps of the greater Melbourne and the central Melbourne, CBD and the suburbs. So just in the similar way, we had the emperor's region near Hastinapur, and then the greater India, which spread throughout the world. So when the war of Mahabharata took place, kings from all around the world came. And it's very interesting, these days, especially now we are in Kali Yuga, so we actually don't understand the Vedic culture and the Varnashram system which was present earlier when Vedic culture was present. Now Vedic culture is dead. So that's why when we read all these stories, we think it's a myth, but it was a reality. So when it was announced that the war was going to happen, it was like a world war at that time. It's mentioned, I think 640,000 people died, something like that. And they were all warriors, Kshatriya warriors. No women, no children, like that. So these Kshatriyas had all the qualities of Kshatriya, as mentioned in Bhagavad Gita and other Shastras. Shauryam, Tejo, Bala, anyone knows that verse, 18th chapter? Tejo, Shauryam, Bala, Yuddhe Chapya Palayanam, Dhanam, Ishvara Bhavascha, Kshatram Karma Swabhavajam. The qualities of Kshatriya, Yuddhe Cha Apalayanam. The Kshatriyas would never turn their back in a battle. Either they will win or they will die. They won't go, they won't run away from the battlefield. If they were defeated, which means they were dead. So that was the thing. So only cowards will run away. That's why we hear of these battles in Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, especially the fierce battle between demigods and the demons, in which Vritrasur was involved. So I think at one point the demigods were winning and the demons were running away. So so although Vritrasura was a demon, he was chastising the demons who were running away cowardly, in a cowardly way, and he was also chastising the demigods because they were attacking the demons who were running away, which is also not a code of the war. If someone is afraid or running away, you can't attack them. You have to attack a person with similar power and who is ready to fight with you. So these are the Kshatriya codes of war. So now we see war all around the world, but we don't see these actual morals or codes of war. So when Mahabharata Yuddha, the battle was announced, so the kings from all around the world were approaching that place, Kurukshetra, and the Kshatriyas would fight in these battles just like the sportsmen would contest in a match. They just wanted to fight, and sometimes it didn't matter which side they would fight from. So we remember there's one uncle of Kauravas and Pandavas. He started from his kingdom somewhere in South India. His name was Shalya. And he wanted to, fight for the Pandavas. And then Duryodhana gave him a big banquet and, got him on the Kaurava side. So basically kings just wanted to fight. Whichever side. Just like we see these sportsmen, they just want to play in different teams, different clubs, doesn't matter which club. The other club buys them, with the prize. They just want to play. Whichever club or team can purchase them at the right price. So that's the Kshatriya blood. But it's rarely seen these days. So anyway, that Vedic culture was there. So here we see in the fight, verbal fight between, at least at this stage, up till where we have read, it's verbal. It will soon turn to physical. So in this verbal fight between the daughter of a Brahmana, Devyani, and the daughter of the Kshatriya, Sharmishtha. So we can see how they are accusing each other based on this Varna system. In a wrong way, because when you are angry, you don't know what is right, what is wrong. So they are both angry. So although it's written here, it is the nature of women to fight verbally even at a slight provocation. But this is true with anyone. If you become angry, you don't know what you are saying, what you are doing. So anger starts in the mind, mental, then verbal, and then physical. That's how it happens. And actually it's mentioned in 3rd canto when Rudra was born from between the eyebrows of Brahma. Lord Brahma is the Pitama, or the first living entity, and he is one of the Prajapati. He had to create all the living entities within the universe. Universe was empty, and he had to create living entities. So the first sons of Brahma were the 4 Kumaras. And then Brahma was their father and their spiritual master also. So he instructed them that please create progeny. But they wanted to stay brahmacharis. So this is one thing which no one can force someone to become a brahmachari or become a grahastha. According to psychophysical nature, one takes up one of the ashramas. So 4 Kumaras wanted to stay Nashtika brahmacharis, but Brahma asked them to create progeny and they refused. So Brahma was very angry. But he couldn't say anything because it was their choice. So he was so angry that from between his eyebrows, the Rudra, crying baby, came. and he was bluish in color. So there in the purports, Prabhupada writes, the Rudra principle. Rudra principle is the anger principle. So he says when someone is angry, he does his fist like this, and there is hot air comes from the nose, eyes become red, and then Prabhupada writes when the Rudra principle enters the arms, there's punching. When the Rudra principle enters the legs, there's kicking. So like that. So this is the Rudra or the anger principle. So basically what we have to do is stop the anger to grow and grow. Because if fire is retaliated with fire, it just increases the overall heat. So that's why when in previous days there were weapons which were not only fire weapons, these days we only have fire weapons. Previously we had water weapons, air weapons, which are like tornado weapons, like that. So when someone would release a fire weapon, they would retaliate with a water weapon. So if one person is angry, so other person should be calm. So then the anger of other person also subsides. But if the anger is retaliated with anger, then the fire just keeps increasing. And this will happen in this pastime. We will see how. So Sharmishta said some very sharp words, and now Devyani would reply with sharp words, and it would just keep increasing like that. So this is anger. So we have to see how it arises. It's given in Bhagavad Gita. Dhyayato vishyan pumsa sangasteshu upajayate sanga sanjayate kama kamat krodho bhi jayate. So when you contemplate on the objects of senses, you develop attachment for them, and then lust develops, and then it degenerates into anger. So by not contemplating on material sense objects, we can stop anger. And there are further fall downs as well after that, after anger. So how to stop this contemplation? We can't stop the senses to act. In Bhagavad Gita again it says, in the Karma Yoga chapter, the senses and the mind, which is also considered the inner sense, it's always active. Nahi kaschit kshanam api jatu tishtatya karmakrit. So not even for a moment you can not act. You have to act. So your senses cannot be suppressed artificially. So the best way is to engage the senses in spiritual sense objects. Then we will not get these material impressions. So senses are considered like windows through which these impressions enter, and mind is considered like a screen where impressions are projected. Like there is a projector screen, so that can be the mind, and the impressions are coming through the senses. So if we allow material sense objects to enter within the senses through any of these windows, then the mind will always project a material movie. Sometimes Keshava Prabhu says this, that if you put a wire to the mind and project it, what goes on there is will be very embarrassed, like that. So only to get spiritual inputs, that should be the goal of a devotee. So through eyes we see the beautiful form of the Lord, while we can live here in the temple, and while temple is closed, at your home through the Divya Darshan group, we can have darshan, and on the weekends we are open, so everyone is welcome. And through the ears we hear the Krishna Katha. Through nose we smell the flowers offered to the Lord, the incense. And Through tongue we chant the holy name and taste prasadam, foodstuffs offered to Krishna. And with touch, it's described in same 9th canto, Amrish Maharaj example. Through touch, basically by touching devotees, in the sparshenga sangamam, in the association of devotees, inevitably we will touch each other while sitting, while having prasad together, like that. Sometimes devotees in friendship hug each other like that. And we touch the books, we touch the beads, all these, we can engage our sense of touch in that way. So these are the spiritual inputs. So if we practice to get spiritual inputs, then on the screen of our mind, we'll get Krishna's pastimes. And our mind will become our friend. Bandhur atmat manastasya. The mind can be your best friend and it can be your worst enemy as well. So if we take only material sense objects through our senses, then mind will be our worst enemy. It will take us to different bodies, life after life. There is no end to that. Perpetually we can go like that. So according to our mental state, we achieve one of the bodies. First, our consciousness or mental state comes to a certain level. So the software is ready. And then the hardware, the body, it comes like that. I think in the book, Coming Back, that book, small book, it's mentioned, there's a poem mentioned there of a poet, or in one of the books, that the poet says, I saw myself falling down and getting a body of an animal or something like that. Can't exactly remember. So basically the mental state comes to a certain level and eventually it reflects physically or biologically as well. So at the time of death, whatever state someone has achieved, so the soul goes to a womb of particular mother in one of the 8,400,000 species, according to the mental state. So actually we have a lot of choice. Although we say we have minute independence, but if you think it's a big choice, we can choose the next body by choosing the inputs. So like now, some devotees here and online are hearing Krishna Katha, but at this time, we can also do something else. So it's a choice, it's a conscious choice. So we can actually choose quite a lot. So here, in this pastime, as we see, for some reason or the other, the anger has come. And now there is fight between Devyani and Sharmishta. So these description of various kings are there, and then eventually we will get the appearance of Krishna. So by our conscious choice, we can allow Krishna to appear in our consciousness all the time. It's not that Krishna only appears on Janmashtami day, one day during the year. We can have Janmashtami every day. We can invite Krishna to our consciousness every day, and Krishna suggests how to do it. Krishna gives very clear instructions in Bhagavad Gita and other scriptures how to excel in bhakti. He says, Rasoham apsu kaunteya. When you drink water, I am the taste of water. So we can see Krishna that way. We can begin to see Krishna that way. Krishna has many appearances in different ways. He is the taste of water, he is the ability in man, he is the light of sun and moon. So that's also Krishna. Then in the deity form, that's also Krishna. Krishna also appears in the Virat Rupa, universal form. Then Krishna has his various incarnations. Different incarnations come to please a particular devotee. in different forms and they perform different pastimes. And then Krishna is present in his Vyuha form, in the Chatur Vyuha form, Vasudev, Sankarshan, Pradyumna, Aniruddha. Then he is also present in his Dwarka form and Vrindavan form. So these are various forms of Krishna. So we may not be able to see Krishna in his Braj or Goloka form straight away, face to face. But Krishna actually instructs very clearly how to do that. Krishna's instructions are very clear. We should not bend those instructions, or we should not think that these instructions are not very practical. These are very practical instructions. Wherever we are at the moment, we can elevate ourselves and go further and further. And we can see Krishna in his various forms like that. Those who want to bend Krishna's instructions, then their life has no higher goal, basically, and higher destination. As we know, when Prabhupada started his outreach, preaching in the United States of America, so his Bhagavad Gita was not yet published in the initial days, and I think he was trying to, in the first year when he arrived in USA, he was somehow trying to reach people somehow or the other. He would also go to these places where, one place where this Indian man would teach yoga, and the old ladies would come there. And there also Prabhupada would give a short lecture. So sometime he would refer to a Bhagavad Gita written by an Indian politician, I think. And there it's, this particular commentator said, when Krishna says me, it does not mean Krishna as a person, it means something within Krishna. So this is like clear misinterpretation. When someone says me, it means the person. But people who do not take words of Krishna directly as it is, they can misinterpret those words in so many different ways. And there is no effect. It does not produce any positive effect. Because these people don't even have a positive goal of benefiting others. They just want to make money. So they may make some money, but what's the use? They will end up in hell or a lower species, and their followers will also end up in the same way. Because if we follow a footstep of a person who is not genuine or who is a swindler, we also go to the same destination. It's very simple. And if we follow a great soul, then we also reach the destination where that great soul goes. So it's very simple, actually. So Bhagavatam is presenting all these pastimes to us so we can slowly progress in our spiritual life. So now coming to these words which were spoken by Sharmishta and Devyani, some parts of it reflects true wisdom, like when here Sharmishta is saying, Devyani is speaking, we are among the qualified Brahmanas who are accepted as the face of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which is true. The Brahmanas have created the entire universe by their austerity, and they always keep the absolute truth within the core of their hearts. They have directed the path of good fortune, the path of Vedic civilization, and because they are the only worshipable objects within the world, they are offered prayers and worshipped even by great demigods and even by Supreme Personality of Godhead. So this is all true, actually. But because it is spoken in an angry way, it has a negative effect. So Brahmanas have the qualifications if they don't become proud. But all these statements are usually spoken about Brahmanas. Brahmanas don't speak this thing about themselves. If someone is an exalted person, he becomes very humble. Vidya Vinaya Sampanne. The real vidya or real education develops real qualities, and then you become very humble. And if you are humble, you will never try to glorify yourself. So here, Devyani is glorifying Brahmanas and her position and her father's position as a Brahmana. So that is the wrong thing. So as devotees also, as we hear from our scriptures, devotees don't like to hear their own glory. They want to glorify Krishna and other devotees. So it's like a situation of a paradox. So we want to glorify other devotees, but devotees should not, they don't want to hear their glory. So this is like that. We should glorify Krishna and other devotees. And as devotees, if someone glorifies us, we should not take that glorification. It's not that we should run away from there. There is a proper response to that. What is a proper response? If someone glorifies us, we pass it on. That's what you said? Yeah. We pass it on to our spiritual master and other senior devotees, and Prabhupada and Krishna, that we say that we are able to do this service, or we are here in the association of devotees just because the mercy of our spiritual master and Prabhupada. So we should pass it on. If we keep it with us, then the pride comes. So this is there. So all these words which are spoken by Sharmishta and Devyani are actually spoken in pride of their position. So these positions are there to serve Krishna. Ata pumbir dvija shrestha varnashrama vibhagasha swanushtitasya dharmasya sansiddhir haritoshanam. So if our varnashrama position does not give pleasure to Krishna, then there is no use of any of the position. These are just upadhis. Oh, I am a Brahmana, or I am a Grahastha, or I am a sannyasi. Any position of varnashrama or gender. If we just take those material designations as all in all, then Krishna will not be happy. These situations are there for haritoshanam, to give pleasure to the Lord, Supreme Lord. So that's why here, whatever is spoken in anger, verbally, will actually lead to a very, like a position which is very embarrassing. We'll see what will happen. So for a devotee, the real way to live is to help others. As it is said that we should first try to get spiritual nourishment ourselves, and simultaneously, as much as possible, give it to others. In Śrīmad Bhāgavatam, in 10th canto, we have this pastime where Krishna actually stole the garments of the gopis, Vastraharan Leela. And after that, the pastime which is mentioned is how Krishna delivers the wives of the Brahmanas who were performing yagyas. And between these pastimes, it's mentioned how Krishna is walking in the forest of Vrindavan with his cowherd boyfriends, and he addresses them by their names, and he glorifies the trees in Vrindavan. Aho esham varam janma sarva pranyupajivanam. He says, just see the birth of these trees, existence of these trees is so amazing. They exist just to help others. So trees give everything they have to others, for others' benefit. And it's mentioned there, they give their bark, their leaves, their stems, the roots, everything, and they give shade. So trees give everything Even when the tree is cut, it does not protest. Taro riva sahishnuna is very tolerant. So in the same way, Krishna is basically saying that we should exist like that for others' benefit. If we only exist for our sense gratification, it's a very miserable type of life, very miserable. Because eventually senses will not be gratified. There will be disease, old age and death. So how will you gratify the senses? So selfish life is very miserable. But a life which is led to help others is the great life. Pranair arthair dhiya vacha shreya acharanam sada. What is the perfect action, acharan? To help others, to dedicate your life, your intelligence, your words, pranair arthair, your wealth, everything for Krishna's pleasure and for benefit of others who are suffering in this world. So this is how we have to lead our life. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has his Sankirtan movement for this purpose only, to help others, to benefit others. And he showed how when he went for his Yatra, South India tour, he was basically chanting and dancing and giving this holy name to, which is the greatest wealth, for the benefit of others. He was giving it to others. So devotees have this wealth of bhakti and the holy name, and when we give it to others, we don't lose anything. We are the gainers. We gain more. This is the mysticism of bhakti. More you give, more you get. Materially, more you give, less you have. Because resources are limited in the material world. So we should give more, and more we will get from Krishna, because Krishna is the source, he is the reservoir of everything, material and spiritual. So we will never be losers. It will always be we will always be winners. Otherwise, Maya can trouble us unendingly. It can kick us unendingly. So the beginning devotees, they think that now we are doing bhakti, and we also know something about this world. So we can balance. Of course we have to balance, but we have to dovetail everything in Krishna's service. Not that we should think, oh, we are doing bhakti little bit, and then little bit we can be in Maya. If we invite Maya, we have this saying, old saying in ISKCON, in like a pin, out like a plow. Maya just needs little bit of a space to enter. What can be that little bit of space, little bit of time? If we think that we will do bhakti for 2 hours or 4 hours, and rest we can be in Maya, we can have balance. Maya just needs 1 second to enter, and then it can take up 24 hours. It's like that. There's one funny fictional story I was sharing with one devotee. So there was one Arab sheikh, he had a camel. Some of you may have heard this story. So they are he's riding the camel in a hot desert. And then he had, this Arab is very rich, he had oil wells, so very, very rich. So he had his tent, so he wanted to rest in that tent in the desert. So he enters that tent, and all the facilities, it's a small tent, but all the facilities are there for one person. And there is air condition as well there, air conditioner. So it's cool, all the facilities are there, and the camel is waiting outside. So after some time, camel knocks the door. It's a fictional story, so camel can speak also. So he knocks and says, "Oh, it's so hot outside, please let me in." And the Arab, the master says, "Oh, you are the servant, you are my vehicle, you just wait outside, you know." And there's not much space also. So then again he keeps knocking few times, and then he finally says, "Okay, you can't let me in, okay, just let my head inside the tent. At least my head will be cool. Outside it's very hot." Then he agrees. So he puts his head inside the tent of the door. And then after some time he says, oh, let my half of my neck also come in. And then after, begging a lot, then he allows that. And then he begs, my full neck should come in. And so eventually what happens, the camel is in and the Arab is kicked out. So this is what happens. I was discussing with the devotee in a different context, but in the context of Maya, what we were saying, it's also very applicable. In like a pin, out like a plow. So if we allow little bit of Maya inside, all our good qualities will be kicked out. So we have to be very vigilant. And one saying which I heard was, vigilance is the price you pay for liberty or freedom. If you really want to be free in the spiritual realm, then we have to be very vigilant and fear Maya in a healthy way and prevent Maya to enter our life. So I'll end here and see if you have any questions or comments on what we discussed. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna Prabhu. So this is question from Sivya online. So Prabhu, you mentioned how we should make the right choices. We can have the choice to be with Krishna or away from him. So I would like to ask, the choices that we make in the present, does that depend on the past? I mean, our past karma or no? Because sometimes even if we are thinking of Krishna, we still tend to make the wrong choices. Why does that happen?
So that happens, so both things exist, our past karma and past impressions, and we have the minute independence. The independence or choice-making facility or ability is there all the time. Krishna never takes that away because for true love that is required. So we may have our package from the samskaras or the impressions and the reactions from past karma, that may be there. But all the time we have this choice to choose Krishna. And more we do that, that previous package will get cleared. That's what Krishna says. Sar dharman parityajya maam ekam sharanam raja aham tvam sarva papebhyo mokshishyami ma shucha. So do not fear, you just surrender unto me, make this choice to surrender unto me, and I will take care of all the previous packages. So that's the conclusion of Bhagavad Gita. Hare Krishna. Any other questions or comments? Okay, thank you very much. Grantharaj Śrīmad Bhāgavatam ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai.
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Enam Kanvandam Maravindadalaya Taksham Bhagavatam Samasitam Buddha Sundarangam Kandar Agom Ikamaniya Vishesha Shobha
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Anganiyasa Sakalen Kriya Vriti Manti Vasyanti Bhakti Kayanti Chiram Jaganti Ananda Chinmaya Sadhu Jala Vigrahasya Govindam
Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami
Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam Adipurusham Tamaham Bhajami Govindam
Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Juta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnava रूपं चाक्रजातं सहगना रघुनाथान्वितं त्वं सजीवम् साद्वैतं सावधूतं परिजनासहितं कृष्ण चैतन्यदेवम् श्रीराधा कृष्णपदान् सगन ललिता श्रीविशाखान्वितांश्च श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द श्री अद्वैत गदाधर शिवासदि गौरभक्तवृन्द श्रीकृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानन्द